There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain. All these places had their moments with lovers and friends I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I've loved them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you. And these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. For people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I love you more. In my life, I love you more.
That's better, Johnny. You know, I missed you. Ever since the club split up, I missed you. We all missed you. Did you miss them? Yeah. Sure. The Beatles missed you. All the Beatles missed you.
Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help! You know I need someone. Help!
Let's go back and get him, mate.
I'm game.
Yeah, let's smash him.
Let's find that temple, eh?
Right, to the temple.
A man's got to do what he's got to do.
I don't reckon all this running away.
Let's go back, 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 back.
Meet again. Don't know where. Don't know when.
My mother used to say that because I was born, the Second World War started.
Some sunny day.
I spent some time with Mother up till about 4. Then my father split. He was a merchant seaman, you know, you can imagine, and it was 1940s in the war and all that.
Always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away.
My mum was a Catholic, Dad was a Protestant. They got married quite late. I think they had me when they were like 40 or something. It was quite sort of late.
They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I must sing.
At the time I was born, my father's job was driving a bus, and I lived in a 2 up and 2 down 12 Arnold Grove.
Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
My mum was a nurse. She was a midwife as well. And my dad was a cotton salesman.
I was raised by my auntie. My father and my mother split when I was about 4. I spent some time with mother up till about 4. Then I was brought up by an auntie.
Dad was he made cakes. So we always had sugar through the war. She ended up doing a lot of jobs because he left when I was 3. He decided that was enough of that. And so she did any down-home job she could get to feed and clothe me.
My mother was from an Irish family called French, and she had lots of brothers and sisters. My grandmother used to live in Albert Grove, which was next to Arnold Grove.
I was terrible at school because I didn't spend much time there because I was also very sick as a kid. I had peritonitis when I was 6.5, which just means burst appendix and you're going to die. And they said to my mother, you'll be dead 3 times, but I was still here.
My dad was a musician, amateur musician, and he would play piano around the house. We always had a piano. And I've got some lovely childhood memories of sort of lying on the floor and hearing him play.
When my parents were younger, they used to have to listen on an old crystal radio set, sometimes known as the Cat's Whisker.
John really loved his mother. I loved her too. And she played little ukulele, which to this day, if I ever meet grown-ups, you know, who play ukuleles, I love them.
Everybody has their party piece in Liverpool. You have to sing a song. And my mother's was Little Drummer Boy, she would sing to me. And I would sing Nobody's Child to her, and she'd always cry. I'm nobody's child, Mum.
Rock and roll meant was real. Everything else was unreal. To me, it got through. It was the only thing to get through to me out of all the things that were happening when I was 15, you know.
You women have heard of jalopies, you've heard the noise they make, but let me introduce my new Rocket 88. Yes, it's straight, just one way. Everybody likes my Rocket 88. Baby, we'll ride in style, moving all along. Well, that's all right, Mama. That's all right for you.
You can't imagine a time when rock and roll was only one of the musics.
That's all right. Other love have I.
Whatever record was being played, you'd try and listen to it. You know, you couldn't even get a cup of sugar, let alone a rock and roll record.
You made me cry.
There was no such thing as an English record, you know. I think the first English record that was anywhere near anything was Move It by Cliff Richard. And before that, there'd been nothing.
I must take a trip to California.
You'd listen to whatever was on the radio because the radio was the main thing in those days.
I was listening to a lot of country and western then. Skiffle was coming through.
Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. I don't know what train he's on. Won't you tell me where he's gone?
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die. Well,
there were lots of people coming up then, and one of them was Buddy Holly. We loved his vocal sound and we loved his guitar playing. But most of all, I think, was the fact that he actually wrote the stuff himself. That's what turned us on.
When I went to art school, I was at art school for 5 years. When I went to, this was sort of college, you know, I went in there, they would only allow jazz to be played. You know, they wouldn't allow rock and roll in, it was frowned upon those days. So we had to con them into letting us play rock.